Welcome back, HellDivers, good to see you again. With the Borderline Justice warbond released, we have many things to cover about this warbond, and specifically the weapons and gears it holds. One thing that's caught my eye is the last 58 Talon sidearm, which is basically the Senator sidearm, but laser based. And through much of my testing, I thought this sidearm is pretty cool to use for a wide number of content and battlefronts. But how good is it actually? And can it match against the unstoppable Senator that we all love so much? Let's find out. The last 58 Talon is a slow firing laser hand cannon that acts like the Senator but relies on energy coils for its rounds. This can be gotten for 40 medals from the warbond and is fairly cheap to buy first time. Now taking a look at the stats, we do have the following: a damage rate 200, fire rate 750, capacity 7, recoil 2, and armor penetration medium. The Talon performs quite amazingly against bugs, bots and illuminates in terms of deadly accuracy it provides, and its penetration rounds make them lethal for stopping most enemy types. As is an NAG laser based weapon, you can in practice have infinite ammo on hand as long as you pace your shots doing so, something that is fairly easy to do and achieve when not under pressure. As is an NAG laser based weapon, you can in practice have infinite ammo on hand as long as you pace your shots doing so, something that is fairly easy to do and achieve when not under pressure. Even then, the weapon performs quite well while under pressure, as its one-shot capability against critical spots allows you to easily dispatch non-armoured to medium armoured units fairly easily. Now the weapon only has a single fire mode available upon activation, as having a full auto run would be fundamentally broken in many ways and forms. This however isn't too huge of an issue, as this isn't the type of weapon you want to be using constantly, but rather use it when your primary is out of ammo and you don't have time to reload it, or use it as a last resort. Its recoil looks to be non-existent when firing in a singular spot, making it easier to land your shots, and range is also fairly good within a 5 to 20 meter range and beyond, which makes the two as a loadout incredibly deadly if you're someone that excels in accuracy over body damage. Against the bugs, it can pretty much one-shot the hive guards and biospewers, two enemies that can be very tough to deal with on difficulty 10 when being swarmed by them. Because of its infinite ammo, it can be very handy against the bugs when you don't have the time to reload your main weapon and need something to quickly dispatch enemies in 1 to 2 shots. Of course, the downside of using this against the bugs is how fast they can overwhelm you, and thus overheat the weapon in a matter of seconds. It takes about 6 rounds to overheat the weapon, which isn't too bad in most fights, but can be a problem if you're using this in close quarter fighting and also spamming it back to back without letting it cool down first. Against the bots, the weapon feels like it was designed to fight against them solely. Its medium penetration rounds makes it a welcome addition against the onslaught of bots who tend to rely more on their thick armor to easily outplay you. Using this against a troop all the way to a Devastator for example, it can one-shot them smoothly via a headshot or aiming at the critical weak points. It can even take out the Hulks if you use it against their heatsink weak points, which if you can pull off will allow you to save when using your heavy weapons at time. And lastly, against the Illuminates, it is similar to how it feels to use it against bugs, where using this against the Voteless will easily decimate them. Against the Overseers, it can take 2 precision hits to kill them, while also taking 4 to the chest to outright kill them. If this isn't something I would bring against them, since using this against a horde of Voteless can be an issue at time with how chaotic they can get. It's good, but you generally have better options to select when dealing with them. Stat-wise, the last 58 Talon is slightly better than the Senator, but this depends on what you're after and where you intend to use the two, as they both have their pros and cons. Taking a look at the two stats, you can see damage-wise the same, but the rest of the stats tend to flip-flop between the two. The last 58 has a wide advantage when it comes to fire rate and ammo capacity on the get-go. As shown, it can take out a wide number of light to medium armor infantry within its current magazine size, and thanks to its ability of having near infinite ammo on hand when pacing your shots, this makes it perfect to use for an all-rounder loadout. However, this is where the Senator then comes in if you want something with more bang for your buck. The Senator, while slower, has the same firepower as a Talon, with its main big advantage being its heavy penetration rounds. Such an ability makes the weapon more applicable on higher difficulties if you need something that can destroy higher armoured units when paired up with additional higher penetration gear. With either Siege Ready or Gunslinger, the Senator just slaps extremely hard, has decent burst damage, and comes with quick reloads, which is just a good blend regardless. Only downside the weapon has can be its recoil, which can be easily managed with practice, and its weapon sights, which I will admit is abysmal when compared to the Talon's more cleaner sight on hand. Out of the two, I would say Talon takes the lead in terms of offering more variety to the user, since it can shoot more, fire faster, and can do this infinitely if you're careful, and the sight isn't a crime like the Senator's. That being said, the Senator does look cooler, which is worth a lot of points for big iron mains like myself. But at the same time, the Senator does hit hard and can be very much reliable as a Talon when being used in specific circumstances. The Talon is like the baby brother of the Senator, but more sleeker, fancier, and futuristic in design. Because of its capability of allowing users to fire near infinitely when using it, it makes it more appealing to use when dealing with a swath of enemies as long as your accuracy is good. This is where the weapon is highly recommended to bring with you if you need a weapon that can cover you when the situation gets really bad. Its high damage and medium penetration is good enough to deal with 50% of enemies in game, and using this on higher difficulties can potentially be a lifesaver for a huge number of issues. If you have good aim and enjoy using sidearm focused setups, then the Talon is definitely something you want to add to your arsenal. So there we have it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you have any thoughts on the content shared or generally like what was shown, then please leave a like, a comment and subscribe for more future stuff. It was great seeing you again, HellDivers, and I hope to see you again soon.